and they decided to come back with the Colts. And that tells you that Shane Steichen is liked by these players, and Anthony Richardson is a quarterback they want to be with because they know what he's capable of. Betrayal scars, can't stop thinking about those stab wounds. We might not catch him today, but he gonna die soon. Welcome in. This is Third and Wrong. Happy New Year. This is the NFL's first day of the new league year, and it's a big day for free agents and free agency. A lot of the deals became official today, so I wanted to come in and talk about my team, the Colts. So this is what the video is going to be about today. We're going to be talking about the signings that the Colts have done so far, the signings that they could potentially do, and also talk about the impact that this day has had on the Colts' potential draft board, especially in the first round. So if you're interested in that, stick with this video. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us grow as a channel. We're a pretty small channel at the moment, but we've seen a lot of really good responses lately. So if you'd be so kind to give us a like, also comment. We like to get into the comments with people and give our feedback to whatever criticisms people have. We are Third and Wrong, so that's the ongoing disclaimer. We're not meant to be right 100% of the time, and we like to take into account what our commenters say. So please don't be afraid to drop a comment if you have any thoughts at all, but we will get into this video and make it a quick one. Okay, so before we start, a little bit of a free agent gift to myself that I got through some Christmas money is this custom Colts helmet. It's got both the logos, the retro and the new, and it's a full size, ready to go helmet. I could maybe go and get hit with this helmet on or something, but definitely not going to be doing that. I'm paid way too much for this, but just needed to show that off real quick before we get into the rest of the free agency video. So, put that down there and pick it up later. But it's a big day for the Colts, and a lot of confusing messages, or at least a lot of confusing opinions that people have about what the Colts are doing. So I'm going to pull up their SPO track, kind of just a good list of what they did in free agency, so you can look for yourself as well. But obviously the big ones is they got Michael Pittman to a long-term contract, 3 years, $70 million. They also added Zaire Franklin, Tyquan Lewis, Grover Stewart, Rigoberto Sanchez, Kenny Moore, Ronnie Harrison, and Trey Sermon as players that they are bringing back this year. I left off Jernard Avery because he didn't get to play with us because he was injured. But all of these people, as you can see on here, their previous teams except for Joe Flacco and Raekwon Davis, all these players played with the Colts last year. And it's not a sexy free agency because people, they want the new names. They want the names that they see on someone's top free agency list. They want, they want to get the biggest names out there, Calvin Ridley, everything like that. But if you strip away the team name aspect of it, the Colts really signed a wide receiver 1. They signed a starting linebacker. They signed a starting nose tackle, a starting punter, starting slot corner, which in our base, Kenny Moore is the slot. And they added a backup quarterback, backup running back, backup nose tackle that's 6'7", 320 pounds, and 2 really quality backup pieces that we already know their quality. So it doesn't seem sexy, right? Because of those things, like it's we're not adding like a brand new free agent that we haven't seen before or whatever. But this is big news, and mainly because of how like resounding the coming back to the Colts message was, because you got big leaders in Zaire Franklin, Michael Pittman, and Grover Stewart, and Kenny Moore coming back, and that is a really strong core that Ballard has built up. You also have Tyquan Lewis, Rigoberto Sanchez, and I feel like I'm missing someone here. Like people like Trey Sermon and Ronnie Harrison that were able to be, plug and play type players for us last year. And we got all those dudes to come back. And what that tells me is that Shane Steichen is a coach that these players want to play for. And I mean, it sounds basic, but that's a really big thing to see from all these players because Zaire Franklin, Michael Pittman. I guess Zaire Franklin not yet maybe, but Michael Pittman, Grover Stewart, Kenny Moore, all could have gone different places. Maybe even got more money. I know Tyquan Lewis turned down more money, and they decided to come back with the Colts. And that tells you that Shane Steichen is liked by these players, and Anthony Richardson is a quarterback they want to be with because they know what he's capable of. So it's really big news because we pay our own here in Indianapolis, and I think that's very clear. If you are, if you're putting in the work and you're producing for the Colts, they're gonna pay you. Last year we saw Jonathan Taylor. A lot of people said, "Oh, Jonathan Taylor's gone. The relationship can't be rebuilt." Got him back. Michael Pittman was on every team's free agency wish list this year. We got him back, and it's just over and over again. Grover Stewart, another player, was on a lot of people's list. We got him back, so I think it's huge. Just in sakes of continuity and leadership, and all these different aspects of building a franchise, Chris Ballard and the Colts are doing it right. And it may not seem that way because, we're missing out on, X player here and there. But I just know that players, when they see, hey, if I go and put in the work, I'm not going to get tossed aside for the shiny new object. I'm going to be made a priority. So I really love the free agency that the Colts have had. And it really sets them up for the draft that we can have this year. So let me pull up PFF for a little bit of a, we can do a little bit of a mock draft situation here. I like to do this setup for my mock drafts just because I feel like it goes a little bit more accurate than some other situations that you can do. But team needs are obviously huge. Positional value is big. And then, a little bit of how those players are picked kind of factor in. So I'll show you kind of what the situation is for the Colts. And this obviously is going to be no trades. So the whole situation could change. But realistically, the Colts don't have a whole lot of needs right now. There's a few things that the Colts could look to get. I said at the beginning of the video, we'd talk about some of the players that the Colts might look into. There's a bunch of safeties on the board that were cut from teams just because they were costing too much. So those safeties are going to be taking a little bit less money, and we can get a quality safety in this free agency class that's going to be able to start and be a veteran that our younger safeties can lean on, and hopefully they can be just plug and play as soon as one of those safeties goes down. The Colts right now appears to be the favorites to land Sneed from the Kansas City Chiefs, so we'll see how that actually plays out. But that would be huge. If we do that, we wouldn't really need a cornerback in the draft. So that's a big pending option there. And so really what that just leaves the Colts with is a lot of freedom to pick best player available throughout this draft. And actually, I'm going to go back because I usually do this mock draft with 3 rounds, just because after round 4 things get really kind of wishy-washy. It doesn't really seem super realistic. But I just wanted to kind of show you what the Colts draft position looks like right now and what they could do in a number of different options. So this isn't exactly how it's going to go. Obviously, I think Caleb Williams goes first, but I think this is a fair projection of what players will be here for the Colts. So really top end options right here. Brock Bowers. I know we have like a loaded tight end room, but we don't have needs, and so we can go and pick Brock Bowers because he is the best player available at this situation. If we don't land Sneed, this is also a great option to land a Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and even Terrion Arnold. Like, pick of the litter when it comes to cornerbacks at 15. That would be huge. If we want to, expand the defensive line, Leatu Latu is a great option. Jershawn Newton or Johnny Newton is another great option for the Colts, but that's what free agency has been all about for the Colts and for a lot of teams is try and make your draft more of a best player available draft rather than we don't have a quarterback or we don't have a wide receiver or this or that. And the Colts have done a good job building through the draft where we're in a position right now where we don't quote unquote need need a player. But for the sakes of this draft, we're not going to go wide receiver, mainly because it's a stacked class right now. So I'm going to go with Brock Bowers, just because he's the best player available. So let's just see what it looks like with Brock Bowers. So we get a tight end, which we don't need, obviously, but we don't really need anything. So the next thing is, say we want to go wide receiver. We got a lot of really interesting options. Leggett and Pearsall are probably my favorite for the second round wide receivers, but there's a lot of different options to play with here. I think personally, if we were in this position, someone like Braden Fisk, just the freak athlete quality of him, I think would be a very fun pick to have for the Colts. So I'll go Braden Fisk. And that goes into the third round where we still have wide receivers. We still have safeties. I really like Cameron Kitchens. But we can also go with Mason McCormick. And usually there's Mason McCormick and Christian Mahogany, who just went to the Seahawks, a little pick above here. But those are the guys that are typically here in the third round. I think for the Colts, though, the one I really like is Kalen Bullock. He's a big safety, but he's rangy. So for the fourth round, we can also look at a guard like Cooper Beebe. We can look at a Muhammad Kamara. Just a lot of different options. I think if I was going for the Colts, we've gone tight end, we've gone defensive interior, and we've gone safety. So that opens us up for swinging on a few other options. Let's say here, I would love to put Braylon Allen here, but if Isaac Guerrero is here, like, holy cow, let's pair him back up with Jonathan Taylor. Just because you never know when you need an extra running back, and he's one of the top guys for that position. But this is not how it's going to go. There's so many different options that the Colts can go, but a lot of reaches here. I feel like just interesting the things to talk about. So I did want to show what the first round could look like before pick 15. So I'm going to go manually do this first round pick, just with what I think could happen. I'm not going to do any trades just because that's going to take a lot more time. But we go Caleb Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison, Neighbors. Go Joe Alt. Let's go Giants. Go Roma Dunze. Titans. Go Botanu. Falcons. Let's go Byron Murphy. Bears. Let's add Fashanu for the Bears. That really screws up the cold of the Jets. Let's go Fuaga. All right. Vikings. I see. Oh shit! Why do I have Jaden Daniels not going yet? Yeah, he'll be gone by now. I think the Patriots will move on, but they would definitely do that if they could. JJ McCarthy is probably going to be gone here. Let's go Quinion. I think that's more likely. Saints. I think they're going to go QB. Maybe they go Brock Bowers. All right, so for the Colts, if that's the case, how this looks, I can see them going with Jared Verse. That would be my pick. But as you can see, we also have Dallas Turner, Leatu Latu, and then Brian Thomas Jr., the lad, Adonai Mitchell as other options. So a lot of really really good options for the Colts. And just to show you, the draft is something that's going to come to the Colts, and we're not going to go be attackers. At least, in my opinion, we're not going to be players in the trade up game. If anything, we're going to be trading down. So that's kind of how I view the Colts. But all in all, that's a quick little recap of where the Colts are right now with what they have done in free agency, what they can do. Signing players like L'Jarius Sneed or Quandre Diggs into the backfield. And expect a lot of other just veterans to come in and be depth / competition pieces. And yeah, that's also the draft. We're in a really good spot. So if you like this content, I probably was a little monotone there at the end, but that's just kind of how looking at the draft board goes. It just kind of pauses me and I have to read the page. So if you like this kind of content, we do really appreciate any sort of interaction that you can give us. Like, comment, and subscribe. They're really big deals for us. So if you could do that, we would really appreciate it. But keep the lookout for our other content because we are going to be doing a channel mock draft. So me, Gage, and Mikey all together. I'm a Colts fan. Gage is a Browns fan, and Mike is a Patriots fan. So we get a different perspective on these different teams and come together and see what the first round of the mock draft might look like. So look out for that. But other than that, have a good one.